Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, my fellow Chibits. Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime review of Dragon Ball Super. So many questions were raised, and also many twists were done in this episode. And I gotta say, I gotta tip my hat, if I had a hat on, I gotta tip my hat off to the writers of this episode, because out of all the things I never expected, I never expected the time machine that Cell came from the future to be used in the plot of this arc. That's something I'm just amazed that was used. And I think many of us that were watching this episode probably already kind of keyed in on the aspect of the other time machine that was used. I was kind of already aware of it when I was around halfway in the episode when Bulma was searching. Like, wait a minute, didn't Cell come in through a time machine? Didn't they put that up and it was never shown again? And I'm like, that's probably what's going on since the time machine was destroyed. And then that's what Bulma brings out. And I'm like, holy fuck, they actually did not forget about the time machine. Cell came back from the future. Like, he went from the future to the past. It just surprised me that when that was used in this episode. So I just gotta give compliments to the writers of this episode. It's just those little details, those little tiny details to this episode made it so much better. Because I just didn't think something like that, so small, would be used once again in the series. It's just, I gotta compliment that. So, the time machine that Cell used is now being used to go back to the future to save the world, Trunks' future, from Goku Black. Now, here's the thing. With this episode, there's a couple of things that are confirmed. And for one, the ring that Black is using is a ring called the Ring of Time. And it's also a ring that allows the user to go from present to future. And usually it shouldn't allow you to go to the past. That's like not a possibility at all. But somehow the ring was able to do that. But another thing too is that the ring is given to Kais. It's not actually given to gods or anything like someone like, Beerus. It's actually given to someone like a Kai. So like a Supreme Kai. And it's very weird because, I mean, for one, many have already speculated that the Kai that's in the opening song of Dragon Ball Super might have something to do with Goku Black. But to actually find out that Goku Black has a ring that's supposedly for Kais, and the ring is doing stuff it normally shouldn't do, and is actually doing, very strange. But another thing, too, is what is going on with Goku Black and what is he? Because, for one, his power was increasing as he was fighting Goku. That's one main thing we need to take a moment to realize. As Goku Black was fighting Goku, he was getting stronger, slowly. He was building up his strength. And we don't know if that was his pinnacle, if he was just getting stronger as he continued to fight. We have no idea. It wasn't really confirmed, but he was getting stronger as the fight progressed on. And we also do know that Goku Black learns a lot from his fighting. He even says twice in this episode, after fighting Goku and after taking all this damage and getting beaten by Goku, it allows him to become even more perfect. And I'm like, okay, so when was the last time I heard the word perfect in Dragon Ball? Cell. What do we get in this episode? Something that kind of links to Cell, like, huh. Anyways, the main thing is that Goku Black is able to learn and get stronger as he continues to fight. And he even says he will use Goku's fighting style. He's learned it and he'll, integrate it into his being for he can use it next time. So Goku Black gets stronger after every fight. Now, is it just because he's related to Goku in some way? Since Goku Black looks like Goku and he might be comparable to Goku? Is that the reason why he was getting stronger while fighting Goku? Or is it something else? For instance, let's say if, Vegeta was to fight Goku Black, would Goku Black continue to get stronger? Main question I have there. But here's the thing, though, I want to point out that many might have overlooked, which, actually, I don't think you really could overlook if you take a moment to really realize in this episode, but anyways, I want to mention it. So Goku Black was doing something very interesting. He was grabbing his chest. He was grabbing his chest right here and holding it tightly. And I want everybody to take a moment to think about this. We all know the Goku in that timeline, he died. He died by heart disease. He died. Dead as fuck, okay? We know that. He supposedly died, and the cure wasn't around. And that's why Trunks came from the future to the past to give Goku the cure, like the medicine to help against that, disease that was going to strike his heart. And now we see Goku Black, he's grabbing his chest. He's grabbing his chest like he has some form of heart disease. And it reminds me of Goku. Remember, Goku died. In that timeline, Goku died thanks to a heart disease. And if this is actually Goku in any way, if it's his body or something, maybe it still has that disease or whatever. It's just something. It's definitely linking to Goku that died in that timeline because him grabbing his chest. And that was just something that really stood out to me when I was watching this episode. So, does Goku Black He's grabbing his chest. The Goku in that timeline supposedly died to a heart disease. There's something going on here. Something very, very strange. So there's a lot of nostalgia with this episode of Dragon Ball Super. I mean, I'm reminded of Cell. I'm reminded of, the Android Saga. I'm reminded of heart disease with Goku. Just a lot of nostalgia in this episode. And, I really like that. I really like seeing nostalgia sometimes in Dragon Ball Super. And seeing that type of stuff, it made me happy. Because personally, one of my favorite villains of Dragon Ball was Cell. I just really like Cell. I liked his entire design. I like Gohan's final real badass moment besides, Mystic Gohan. I just love that entire fight. I love the entire arc. I just love it. There's just so many good moments. Like, for instance, Vegeta's final flash to Android 16 to, what Cell did. Perfect Cell when he came back to Kamehameha Wave battle. Gohan transforming Super Saiyan 2. Trunks and all that. There's just so many good moments in that arc. And being reminded of that arc in this episode, it makes me happy. It makes me feel like I'm going back to those times when I first watched Dragon Ball Z for the first time. So yeah, definitely a very good episode. A lot of mysteries building up, especially with the Kai, because it makes you wonder, what does that Kai have to do with Goku Black? Why is this Kai supposedly giving Goku Black, some form of ring of time? Many questions. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.